Hey, this video is for Greek class. This is actually an overview to chapters 3, 4, and 5, so it doesn't follow along with any one chapter. We'll also make a video on each of the chapters individually, but I wanted to introduce you to the general concept of how nouns work in Greek, and so that's what this video does. In this video, I'm trying to just show you what are the three kind of properties of Greek nouns, and it's these things. Nouns in Greek have gender, which we don't really have in English. Our nouns are just nouns. But every definite article has a gender, and so every noun ends up having a gender in Greek as well. And so some of them are going to make a lot of sense to you, some of them won't make any sense at all. But this is just a thing, and some languages have it. Like Spanish is also a language that has this. Like the word table in Spanish is la mesa, which is feminine. It just is. And it doesn't mean there's anything feminine about the table. It doesn't map onto what we think, but there is such a thing as gender. They have number, which is singular or plural. I'll talk about that too. And then most importantly, they have case, which tells you what it's doing in the sentence. I got ahead of myself a little bit, and so I was talking about gender. Here's the three genders. Some nouns are masculine, some are feminine, and some are neuter. And it's the definite article. It's the word the beforehand that's going to tell you for sure. The nouns have already been determined. Like Greek people in ancient times determined which nouns fall into which categories. Some of them will make good sense to you. Like the word for boy is going to be masculine. The word, though a lot of words just are, and it doesn't have any rhyme or reason to us of how it works. You won't ever have to create this. You'll just have to recognize that Greek nouns have gender. They can be masculine, they can be feminine, or they can be neuter. They can be singular or plural. We have this in English, so this one's not as hard for us. In English, though, we tend to put just the letter S at the end of a lot of things. So I have a shirt, or I have shirts, plural. I have a book, or I have books, plural. But sometimes we have words that change. So, like, there's one goose, or there's a bunch of geese. There's one mouse, and there's a bunch of mice. In Greek, it's going to be at the end of the word. Just like there are in verbs, it's at the end of the word that you look for the thing that tells you if this is singular or if this is plural. And there's going to be different ones for each one of the cases, which is the really important thing here, which is in Greek, there's a way to change a word to tell you what it's doing in the sentence, and we call this case. Nouns in English, we don't really decline nouns. So no matter where the noun appears in a sentence, it still looks the same to us. So if I say I'd say the phrase, Paul kicks the ball to me. In that sentence, Paul is the subject. He's doing the action. But if I say something like, he kicks Paul's ball, Paul's not doing the kicking. Paul owns the ball. It's possession. If I say, I kick the ball to Paul, I'm the subject. And now I'm sending the ball to this indirect person, to Paul. And then if I say I accidentally kicked Paul, Paul's now the direct object. He's the thing that I'm kicking, not kicking a ball. Or I can address Paul. I can say, Paul, kick the ball. Kick it over to me. And then he might be doing the thing, but in that sentence, he's actually just being addressed or told to do the thing. In English, it's still Paul, Paul's, so that's a slight change. Paul, Paul, Paul. You can't tell the difference. We just pay attention to word order. In Greek, they actually pay attention to the formation of the word, and the formation of the word determines its use in the sentence. Its case determines its use in the sentence, not where it occurs in the sentence. So the subject can be anywhere in the sentence. We'll work on this in class together, and you just have to recognize the ending as the case for subjects. Here are the 5 cases that there are in Greek. We'll go over this a lot of times, so this will become second nature to you. Nominatives are subjects. Genitives show possession. Datives are indirect. Accusatives are the direct objects, so like I kick Paul. And vocatives are the directed to us, calling him out. Paul, kick the ball. I'll always put them in this order. They're always in this order in your textbook. This is how we do it in Greek every single time to make it easy and to simplify, keeping them track in our own mind. Again, it's really hard to see this in English, but you can kind of see it if you use pronouns instead of using a noun. So here's an example. I kicked the ball. I'm the one doing the kicking. So now the focus is on me, right? But if someone else kicked my ball, that shows possession. That's like the genitive. If she kicks the ball to me, she's not kicking me, she's kicking the ball, but she's kicking the ball to me. I'm the indirect object to me. And then she kicked me. If she kicks me directly, yeah, I'm the direct object, right? And then if I'm trying to pump myself up, self, just kick the ball. That is an address. Like I'm standing outside the action of the sentence being addressed in this kind of way. This would fit the kind of Greek cases that we have. I kicked the ball is nominative. I is the subject. She kicked my ball. Genitive shows possession. Dative. She kicks the ball to whom? She kicks the ball to me. She kicked me. Accusative is the direct object. And self just kicked the ball. Vocative. If you have a pretty good background in English grammar, you're going to find this more just normal to you, and it's going to be maybe easier to pick up. If you don't have a great background in English, you can still learn this, but it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge because we just don't pay attention to the actions, to the functions of our nouns in a sentence. And in Greek, we're going to have to pay attention because word order is not going to help us out at all like it does in English. Again, this is the chart with those and now broken down in the singular and in the plural. And then eventually you'll see that we can break it down by its gender too. But we're going to work on declining Greek nouns in this way. We'll walk a noun all the way through a category like this. I'll do it for you in a minute in another video. And then here is the thing that you most want to like mark in your textbook for now, which is we're jumping ahead to chapter 5. And I'm going to give you some homework sheets that have this already included in the sentences for chapter 3 and 4. We want to go ahead and use the article the definite article. So definite article means not just a hat, but the hat or the girl. And so that's what's going to give us the biggest clue because these things don't change. And so the great thing is if you learn these, no matter how many other nouns there are or noun forms, you're still going to know what the gender is, what the number is, and what the case is. And so I really encourage you to go to chapter 5, star this, put a flag on that page, whatever you're going to need to do, photocopy this. This is in your notebook as well, because we're going to really focus on this chart that's going to help us the most because almost always a noun appears with one of these definite articles. That's not true for the vocative, the just address, but we can worry about that later on. Okay, so this is really key. Nouns have these three things: gender, masculine, feminine, neuter; number, singular or plural; case, nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, vocative. And the definite article is going to always tell you what that is. And so we'll go through the definite articles with the different chapters, with chapters 3 and 4, and then again with adjectives in chapter 5. But this is a brief overview to nouns in the Greek system. If you have further questions, then just I would encourage you first to rewatch this video again, and then if not, to email me or to bring those questions to class and we can talk about them there. But we're getting started, and so once we get rolling on this and we start putting it into practice, I think it's going to come to you very naturally and it'll make a lot of sense. But this is kind of the structure that underlies it, and then the individual chapters then show you the specifics of those different genders, cases, and numbers. Okay. Hope this video is helpful.